will never forget the fact that when they first invented light bulbs, they could burn for 100 years, but the light bulb companies wanted to make more money, so they made them burn out every year or so.
This creator is 100% correct, and it's actually way more widespread and insidious than this. And I want to talk about it as someone who specifically studied product design in school. And one of my favorite classes was pretty much the history of product design and product development. The sad unit to learn was that companies are actually shortening the lifespan of the products they sell us on purpose so that they can sell more products. Because as always, capitalistic greed ruins pretty much everything at the end of the day. And one of the biggest industries that started doing all this was the appliance industry. Right back in the early to mid 20th century, they were selling a lot of refrigerators and washing machines. Those were usually made to last a very, very long time. Now, one of the reasons they lasted such a long time, right, was that because they were built with better materials, right? Metal instead of plastic, simpler parts that were easily replaceable. They were built with the user in mind, but as time went on, they realized they weren't selling as much as they wanted to. So many companies started intentionally making products that were either more complicated with more specialty parts. You see this a lot in cars like Mercedes and BMW now. You have to go specifically to those places to get them fixed, and they have really niche parts so that you're forced to continue buying from them, or they would make them which is worse quality. And it's cheaper for them to make overall, so it's a win-win on their end. Even more so in recent years, people are especially starting to notice it in their electronics, especially because electronics are becoming cheaper on the market. So they need to sell more to keep up, and they are intentionally halving the lifespan of their products. I will give it to them. The one science they haven't quite perfected is extending the lifespan of batteries, which is why you used to be able to just take your battery in and get it replaced for different products. But like they even explained in the Buy Now documentary, which does a pretty good job of covering a lot of this stuff, many companies like Apple and Microsoft are now intentionally making it pretty much impossible to open their products so that third parties can fix or do things like swapping out the batteries, to the point where they will try and legally go after third-party companies that offer this service because it prolongs the lifespan of the product you bought, right? And it prevents you from going back and just having to buy a new one. And yes, once again, it amazes me that this isn't somehow considered monopolizing the market. Some places like the EU have regulations that help prevent this a little bit, but these large companies are even fighting that tooth and nail because they don't want you to get the most out of your product. They want to get the most out of their customers. But as I learned in school, these companies are doing this intentionally. And I don't know why it's completely legal still.